You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Ben and Liam. They're on your radio, and that's why you can't see them. So stay for a while, they're gonna make you smile. And whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're feeling fine, waking up to the sunshine with Ben and Liam.
Ben, very exciting. I've been invited to a dinner, and guess where it is?
Where is it?
Charlie's Diner. In Brighton.
Iconic.
I didn't even know there was one in Brighton.
So there was always two.
Because I'm a northern suburbs boy, so are you.
Yes.
So I used to go to the one on Waterloo Corner Road, which burnt down after some towers combusted, which I still don't know.
Is it a little dodgy? Allegedly.
I mean, you can think what you want to think.
Yeah.
But now it's like the Waterloo Station, which my grandpa lives around there, and I quite often go to lunch there. But Charlie's Diner, I haven't been for years. If the Brighton one is anything like the one I remember growing up, all you can eat, just go your hardest.
You're talking, you got hockey and noodles.
Have some hockey and noodles next to some pizza and a roast on a plate. That's fine. Go up for 3 more plates.
Yeah.
Sprinkle some honey chicken on it this time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this would be a fun idea. Why don't I put the soft serve on the pizza? Why not? Why not?
I reckon Charlie's is up there as one of Adelaide's best, worst restaurants.
Like, put it this way, it's not a great restaurant, but it's great.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say it's probably the best, worst restaurant.
I've got a restaurant that I reckon you would love, Liam. I reckon it's pretty similar to Charlie's, but it's just a little bit better because...
So is it like an all-you-can-eat?
It's all you can eat. It's a buffet.
You had me at all-you-can-eat.
And you get to watch the dogs. Chase's restaurant.
Chase's
restaurant.
Yeah.
I actually went on their website because I hadn't been there in a while because I used to go there a fair bit. And they've got a new deal on now where if the dog from box 8 wins 3 times in the night, because it's like 11 races on the night, if box 8 wins 3 times, dinner's free.
What a thrill. What an absolute thrill. Isn't that the thing as well when you're just having your carvery, like you're eating, and then the lights will go off when the race starts?
And you watch the race for 30 seconds.
So you can't get your food into your mouth because you got to wait till the lights come back on.
It is a great experience.
132410, Adelaide's best, worst restaurant. This isn't a restaurant that's winning any awards. It might not even be up to date with the latest, health and
codes,
safety regulations, but there's something about it that's just so damn good, and you just keep going back for more.
Taylor joins us now in Glenelg North. Good morning, Taylor. Where is Adelaide's best, worst restaurant?
Morning, Ben and Liam. It's got to be My Kitchen. It's in Ferryden Park in like a suburby street.
Yep.
There's just a random restaurant.
The restaurant's called My Kitchen. I thought you were saying the best, worst restaurant is your kitchen and you live somewhere in Croydon.
So what kind of food,
it's called
what kind
My
of food
Kitchen.
are they doing at My Kitchen?
So it's like a Vietnamese, modern-y kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. So they're taking a few liberties, just a bit of flair there, making it modern. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. What are you getting? What's your go-to order?
They have the best bao buns I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
You
okay.
can't go past a bao.
And their pho or pho, or however you're supposed to say it, is unbeatable.
Oh, right.
Very
all right.
good,
Well,
Taylor.
that's on my list, Taylor.
Hey,
You've sold that.
speaking of Vietnamese, I also want to give an honourable mention to Miss 5 Vietnamese Eatery on the main street of Virginia. When I used to live in Virginia, I'd go there probably 3 times a week. I was single, and I was just every time I'd get the satay skewers, but I'd get a double serving of them and just eat satay skewers.
The other one's for my girlfriend.
And
just waiting in the car.
But the best thing about Miss 5 was you'd go in there and they were always singing karaoke. Always. It was so good.
It's just fun. It's just
So
a fun vibe. Brad in Findon, Adelaide's best, worst restaurant. What is it?
It's a barbecue inn down the bay, mate.
Yeah, righto. So I've not been. What's it like? What's the vibe like?
Mate, you have to go. It's nothing but a man's feed. Just the best meat, mate. Pure quality.
just meat on meat. Not a single vegetable in sight.
Does sound pretty good, Brad. Hey, on the text line as well, Culdeep in Blair Athol said, my brothers, please check out Indian Temptations on Main North Road. Best Indian food in Adelaide, I guarantee you, and don't let the dirty pots put you off.
Okay.
Liam, there's a guy on TikTok, of course. He's made a list of rules for his family to follow if he ever goes into a coma. And I do find them quite fun. First of all, he's going to need a skin fade. Once a week, He says he doesn't want anything that closely resembles sideburns or any unsightly growth. He hasn't got the facial structure for it.
A fade, that's like $50 on the streets. That's quite expensive for the family if they're
Pretty
doing it. Because your
expensive.
hair does grow as per usual if you're in a coma.
Next up, he asked for a bi-weekly pop culture update from a trusted source.
Like TMZ or something like that?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's also said, this is one of my favourites, he said, if Rihanna drops an album or if Meghan Markle gets assassinated, I need to know. Even if I can't hear you telling me, my body will know and I will sense it.
Oh, my God. I think that's so morbid when people plan for those sorts of things. And, we were talking about this morning. This blew us away. Producer Belle, good morning.
Good morning.
This is quite similar. It's not about the coma, but you were surprised that Ben and I hadn't planned our funerals.
Yeah.
How old are you, Belle?
I'm 26.
You're 26 years old.
You've got a lot of happy years of life left in you.
Absolutely. But it's inevitable at the same time.
Exactly.
We're all going the same way.
You shouldn't be planning your own funeral.
To the extent that you have. I'm seeing a photo on your phone. Please
that's
don't tell
my
me.
funeral photo.
Please don't tell me that's the photo for the card. Can I
What
look
do
at that?
you mean that's your funeral photo?
Yeah, but you'll be like 80 by the time you're like 16 and you look really good, but you know what I mean? It just won't make sense because if you're like a grandma,
get to that. So yes, I have a funeral photo, but that's like
it'll be updated every 5 to 10 years.
I think this was taken like 5 years ago, and I'm still happy with it now. And then maybe if I look really different soon, then I'll change it. But yeah, I've planned it down to like. Literally, I've got like a whole rundown.
You've got like a set list.
Yes.
Belle has got a section in her phone, in the notes section, that she's got like a full rundown written
Which I
out.
have sent to my best friend, my cousin, and my mum. So they all have it. So if I die and my phone's with me, if I'm in a car accident or something,
So
they've got it
all
all there
three of
too.
them meet up and turn the keys at once, and the funeral
Go.
planning
This is what she
begins.
wanted. Are we speaking? Have you got a little section in there for us?
No.
Oh, right. Who is
What do you
speaking?
wanna speak?
Who's chatting?
Well, I've got 10 minutes allocated for my mum. 5 minutes for my dad.
Specific. Specific. Bit rough on him.
Yep.
Another 10 minutes for my cousin.
So you don't want Leonardo to get up there and do a tight 10?
No, I do.
I could do some of the old stand-up stuff. That's my time.
Well, I
thought I'd end on a high note.
She was horrible at getting callers, but
We've had this discussion, though. We had a discussion about what would happen. I said to you guys, if I die, you have to go on air the next day and then go on as if it's fine, but also acknowledge that I've died.
yeah, you have said that.
We won't just get someone else behind the scenes and not do Love Rat anymore.
Yeah. We'll let people
Taylor
know.
will just do what's trending with us. It'll be fine.
I mean, a big part of the funeral, Belle, is, of course, the music. I'm sure
Yep.
you've thought of that.
I have 2 songs, specifically one for when I'm brought in and then one
God.
for at the end.
Okay,
on.
what are they going to be?
So when I come in, I want Claire de Lune by Flight Facilities. Gorgeous.
Is it? Oh, when I hear Claire de Lune, I just want to buy a Samsung Galaxy from Telstra. The whole time I'd be sitting at your funeral going, I reckon I want to get a 5G home and internet bundle.
I can
Yes,
see
it was
why.
used for
I
the
can
ad.
see why you've chosen this song, because in that ad, it's like we're all connected.
Well, I chose it as well. It runs for 7 minutes 40 exactly, and I think that's a good time.
Is your funeral
everybody.
going to be sponsored by Telstra? Does everyone walk out and get a free Nokia?
Guys, as you leave, just get a prepaid phone plan from Telstra.
So that you can call into Ben and Liam and contribute to the show.
What's your
Belle was a reliable girl.
what's your
Much
second-
like our service.
What's your second song? Is it the Pot Bellies?
Yeah, is it the Jeep? Is it Hold Back? Is there anybody out there?
You are not invited anymore.
Get the jump on summer and check out whatif.com for amazing getaways. Aussies just know how to summer. It's in our DNA.
Bring it on. Book your accommodation, flights, car hire, and more, all on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
13-24-10. Where did you think babies came from? Yesterday I was having lunch with a friend of mine, Ben. It was the 30th, and some of his old school friends were there who I'd never met before.
Yeah.
And so they were, sort of sharing some stories, and they brought the story up, which was embarrassing my mate like a fair bit. Like, he didn't want the story told. They're like, oh, you haven't heard it? You haven't heard it?
Yeah.
So it turns out, I'd never heard this before, but my friend, he thought that babies came from belly buttons until year 8.
What do you mean?
It was year 8.
Came from the belly button?
He thought...
As in they came out from the belly button?
Yeah. I don't know if he thought that's how they got in there as well. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'd certainly hope not. But I think so. His parents told him that's where babies come from. So babies would come out of the belly button
Yep.
hole. He believed it. And then I suppose they just never thought to correct him when he was a little bit
Yeah.
older. So high school came around. He still genuinely thought that was legit, and then he was found out. And then for the rest of his schooling life, he was just the belly button kid.
See, I can see the parents there trying to do the right thing and not have to have that conversation
Well,
with him.
I mean, is it the right thing though,
Yeah.
or is it just you don't want to feel awkward, so
Yeah.
you're doing the wrong thing? If
Yeah,
anything.
true.
You should probably be honest about it. I mean, there's probably sensitive ways you can sort of let them down easy, but then you end up you don't want to have the belly button kid.
Because that would then mean that mummy and daddy can both have a baby.
That's true. Some idiot year 8 kid thinking that dudes can pop babies out of their belly button.
I feel like I always knew, like, I don't remember at what age I got told, but I just thought, I think the internet probably, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't actually know where that revelation came from either. I think maybe my parents told me.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think I was always on the right track.
Yeah.
Knew there was something up there.
Yeah.
Something's
Something's
going on.
going on.
Something's going on. Well, look, if you got the wrong end of the stick, 13, 24, 10, where did you think babies came from? You don't have to be ashamed. Maybe it was in high school, maybe it was a little earlier than that, but anything other than the actual way, I'm talking about conceiving and giving birth. Like, how did you think that process happened?
Yeah, maybe someone told you, maybe you just thought you'd figured it out for yourself.
Yeah, and then you were just telling people that's the way it was done.
13 24 10 is our number. Where did you think babies came from? Yeah, and maybe listening to the radio, you still don't know. Sarah, this was your daughter. Where did your daughter think babies came from?
Well, after a discussion with my 2 older boys around the facts of life and using all the correct words, a couple of months later we're driving along in the car and my 5-year-old pops up and says, "Mummy, did I come out of China too?" I'll let you work that one out.
Out of China. No. I see how she's.
Do you think that, that one of the older sons told her that, or where did you get that from?
I think it got a little bit lost in translation.
Yes.
But it did come from one of the older sons, and obviously we all know what words that they were trying to use.
Yeah.
So they obviously didn't
Yeah, China. Yeah, no, now I'm with you.
For China.
Yeah.
I don't want to educate another load of 5-year-olds.
Your daughter has gone the last 18 years thinking she was Chinese. So it's my culture.
Joanne, good morning. Where did you think babies came from?
Well, I thought when I was little that if you ate too much, suddenly the food would morph into a little baby in your tummy. So the baby would grow in your tummy and its little legs would grow inside your legs and its little arms inside your arms. And then when the universe thought the baby was big enough, you went off to hospital and the doctor made a big cut in your tummy and lifted the baby out.
Much like a babushka doll sort of situation. Where,
So when I was little, I was very, very careful not to eat too much.
Yeah, well, if that were true, I'd be having 1 or 2 curry babies after the weekend I've just had.
Yeah, I've seen the way Liam eats a curry. He's got a few curry babies in him for sure.
Oh, yeah. I actually did a curry baby before the show this morning. Ben, your wife, Sam, has a lovely tattoo of some of your handwriting on her arm, right?
Yeah, she does. She's just got "I love you" from a note that I wrote her a while ago now, but she got it tattooed on her.
You see, I love that. That's nice. That's classy. It's very faint. Over the weekend, Ben, we were hanging out with some mutual friends of ours, Chris and Kat. They've also actually recently got married, and Kat's got some new ink. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No,
she's got a new tattoo. It's so what it is. It's her husband's initials, Chris Maddie, CM. She's got CM on her arm, and it's nice. And my fiance Sarah was like, "Oh my god, I love that." Sam's got her tattoo. I love that one that Kat's got. She's like, after the wedding, we should do that. We should get matching tattoos of our initials. And I was like, oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, Sarah Stapleton, I don't think having SS tattooed on my arm is a great move. Like if you've done your year 10 history, it's not a good look. Like in all the promo shots, you know what I mean, for Nova. It's not the crowd we're trying to attract here.
Ben and Liam's unbelievable stories. Unbelievable.
This week, Ben, we have had some absolute bangers so far.
Just like Daniel.
Hey guys, how you going?
Very good, mate. Can you give us your unbelievable story?
Yeah, sure. So me and a friend of mine, we entered a yacht race back in 2018 from Melbourne to Osaka, Japan. 33 days in total. However, we did have to stop in Cairns for a couple of days because of it. We was actually a cyclone on the way up as well. So
that wasn't enough to deter you for the month in a boat when there was a cyclone happening?
So, okay, so you pulled in at Cairns. What happens after that?
So after that, we made our way up through Papua New Guinea, and we were going up along the coast, and I was off shift at the time, and my mate Tom poked his head down and said, "Oh, Dan, I think you better wake up. I think we've got an issue here." So I poked my head out the companionway, and sure enough, there was 2 boats coming directly for us with 3 guys in each boat, full steam ahead, and we were just thinking, "Oh, God, here we go." These guys were there to take some of our gear, so as they were pulling up alongside.
Daniel, the word on everyone's lips here is pirates. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
This isn't Pirates of the Caribbean. Where's all the rum gone, pirates? This is like Captain Phillips, I am the captain now, sort
AK-47
of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
That was the first thing that was going through my head. My heart was racing, and I was thinking, "Yep, it's all over. They're going to get tied up, and it's all done, so to speak."
And then, so they're coming towards you. They board, I'm assuming. What happens?
Yeah, so they pulled up alongside us, told us to pull our sails down, and well, actually, there was only one guy that spoke English, and he said his name was Brian, he definitely didn't look like a Brian, but
Brian the pirate. Did he have a peg leg? Gar, me name be Brian. Pull your sails down.
Yeah, so he pulled it down. He said, "Well, we don't want to hurt you guys, but yeah, we're here to take some of your." I want to take some of your stuff. So, essentially, more or less.
So what did they take?
First of all, they asked us if we had any drugs or alcohol on board, and we said no, nothing like that here. We ended up saying to them, "Oh, look, we've actually got the Australian Navy coming up behind us, so yeah, we can't really, if you take this stuff, they're going to come and try to find you." Whereas, that was obviously a bit of a bluff, and Brian was sort of staring me down at the time, and
with his one eye.
In the end, I said, "Oh, wait here, guys." I sort of popped downstairs. And up getting all this beef jerky that we weren't eating, and I ended up like handing it out to all the guys, and and they loved it. They loved it. They loved the beef jerky, and so they become a bit more friendly after that, and ended up asking us to go back to the island with them, and we said, "No, we can't do that. Not going to go back to the island with you." And the last thing they sort of said was, "Oh, would you mind taking a shipment of illegal drugs back to Australia with you?"
Oh, if you don't mind.
Seeing as we're all friends now.
Yeah, since we're all mates. And, so I said, "Oh, look, we're actually on our way to Japan, but what we could do is on the way back to Australia, we might swing through and,
we'll come back to you. Yeah, we'll come back to
you. So... Yeah, I handed them my fake details, and they told me what village they're from, and essentially parted ways. So
that is an unbelievable story.
I mean, that
Daniel.
is amazing, and I love how they just went, "Can you take our drugs for us?" He went, "No," and they went, "All right, well, we'll see you later. Thanks for the jerky." When you thought, like, realistically, international waters, they could have killed you. No one would ever find you. It doesn't really matter. They could have done whatever they wanted with the boat and taken everything. But they seem like actually pretty nice guys. I think pirates get a pretty bad rap,
Besides all the drug smuggling stuff.
Apart from that, like getting the illegal drugs into Australia, like, great guys.
Oh, my God. Daniel, thank you so much for your unbelievable story.
That is amazing.
No worries, guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much. If you look carefully in Ben and myself's promo shots, you might be able to see we're wearing these silver necklaces, and on the end of those necklaces we got a key each, and if we put them both into this machine and turn them over, we unlock the forbidden folder. This is all the naughty stuff, all the stuff that the boss said, no, I don't think we won't be doing that.
Like, for example, last week's was great. So last week it was, do you have an OnlyFans account?
And the woman who called through was actually our best caller of the week. She won the Friday meat tray. We've opened it up. Go on here. Are you in polyamorous relationship?
What does polyamorous relationship mean?
I believe it's just you're in a relationship with more than one person, living under the same roof with, like, 2 partners or more. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are all actually in a committed relationship together, and you all live together and function much like, just 2 people would if they were in a relationship.
Yeah, gotcha. So you don't want, like, I'm in an open relationship where we're free to see other people. It's
that's
more
you
want someone living in the same house with 2 partners.
Yeah, I'm like, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Like that, I know it happens.
Does it happen?
I think it happens. Yeah, I think. I mean, if you are in one of these relationships, 13 24 10, please give Ben and myself a buzz if you feel comfortable. A lot of questions. I mean, all questions I'm sure you've answered in the past as well. But yeah, I find this one really fascinating.
All right. Are you in a polyamorous relationship?
This is fascinating. Tina, you're in a polyamorous relationship. How many partners do you have?
Currently, I have one long-term partner, and I've just started a new relationship
Right.
with a long-time friend.
So are you new to doing this polyamorous relationship?
No.
Or, right.
No, I was first in an open relationship probably early 2000s, and then after my marriage dissolved 5 years ago, I just went, that's it, I'm just going to do poly from now on.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
So-
you need good time management
Yeah.
to be in this business.
Yeah.
Then again, do you find in this relationship style, Tina, you have more time?
I find that I have less time in general because I have children, but
Yeah.
I have more people that care about me and give me a chance to free up time because they come over, they care for my kids,
Yeah.
they're interested in my family and my well-being. It frees up time where I wouldn't normally have if I was a
see.
single mum.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like times where it's handy and sometimes where it's tricky. Yeah, Charlie, you're also in a polyamorous relationship. How many partners do you have?
At the moment, 2, but I'm still actively dating.
Okay, so have you had more than 2 at any point?
The most I've ever had is 3, but I find that tends to be the limit before I start running out of time to exist.
Yeah,
And so,
I see.
have you always done polyamorous relationships, or have you gone for the single one first and you found that polyamorous works best for you?
I was actually married in a completely monogamous relationship for a few years before I realized that wasn't going to suit me. And it's been 5 years since then, and everything's been uphill.
Gee, Charlie, well, that's great. You're being true to yourself.
How do you go about finding other people that are into polyamorous relationships?
I'm really, really open on my dating profiles. I put it right there in the beginning, and before I even start a conversation, I make sure that person's read it, because polyamory is all about consent. And if the person doesn't know that, you've got other partners, then that's just cheating.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Well, Charlie, for you, you mentioned you got 2 partners. Are those 2 people seeing each other as well? Is it like a triangle, or is it just?
Yeah.
Is it more like a straight line and you're in the middle?
So it's what we call a hinge, where I'm dating each of them, but they're not dating each other.
Do the other partners get jealous of you being in the middle of the hinge?
I haven't had that experience because we're really open about communication. Jealousy tends to come from a certain need not being met. So when we have those feelings, we like to sit down and talk them out and find out what it is that partner needs in order to feel more comfortable.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
13 24 10. Give us a buzz. They stole what? Because last night I was robbed, Liam. I was robbed of my Uber Eats.
Okay.
I was genuinely robbed.
I thought someone would have taken your TV or something.
No, worse. I was hungry. I was very hungry, and so was my wife, Sam, and she was genuinely upset.
How long did you leave the bag outside?
Okay, I'll tell you the story.
All right.
So we've ordered Uber Eats, both very hungry. We got Hungry Jacks. We're sitting there, we're watching a TV show. I think we're watching Restoration Australia. I'm waiting for the order. She goes, it's there. I said, great. So I got up to go get it straight away and went out there, opened the door, no Uber Eats.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And I went back in and I said, no, it's not there yet. And she said, no, it's there. They sent a photo. Yeah, they do that thing sometimes.
They actually sent
sometimes,
the photo.
they don't always do it. Sometimes they take a photo of the order and say it's at the front door. So this time they had done that. And I looked at it and I went, well, yeah, it's there, but it's at the neighbour's house.
Yeah, right.
So I went over to the neighbour's house.
Yeah.
It was gone. It was gone.
So they've gone.
And then I've thought, oh, they must have taken it inside.
Yeah.
Then they probably text me to say, oh, hey, sorry, you came to our house.
Yeah, of course.
So I went inside, grabbed my phone, no text.
just the sound of light nibbles on a pork burger.
And then I thought, oh, maybe they've taken it inside, like someone thought that the other person had ordered
You're
it.
really giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I was. The worst part was, I could smell it in the air. Like, I could smell it had been delivered.
There's been Hungry Jacks here recently, and I know, as someone who's eaten a fair bit of that stuff, it lingers. Yeah. It does linger.
So, I had my Uber Eats stolen. That's why 13, 24, 10.
The neighbour, you reckon the neighbour's just eating it?
100%. There's no other explanation.
What the heck?
There's no other explanation.
What are their names?
I'm not going to say
Call
their
them
name.
out.
I'm not
Bloody
gonna-
call them out.
I'm not going to call them out.
Is it the ones to the left or the right?
I'm not going to say.
If it's the ones to the left, I've seen their house, and I think they earn enough to be buying their own Hungry Jacks, is all I'll say.
13 24 10. Give us a buzz. They stole what?
Wesley, you were robbed.
Hey, Ben and Liam. Yeah, so we had some breakfast lamb chops and some bacon defrosting overnight, and we were boggled, and, yep, that was stolen the next morning.
The lamb chops.
So someone broke into your house.
Yep.
And as well as, I'm assuming, stealing some valuables, they also took the meat that was defrosting.
Correct, yeah, 100% correct.
That is crazy, Wesley.
Yep.
Alicia joins us now. Yours was also food related. What did they steal?
Yeah, hey, Ben and Liam. So my family and I got broken into a few years ago just before Christmas. And they basically stole everything, but at the end of the night we decided to get some takeaway and sit down. And then we went to go get our chocolate from our pantry, and they decided to steal our chocolate milk and chockies.
Well, after a big night of robbing, it is always good to quench that thirst with an oak milk, I find. Karen, what do they steal?
Hi, Ben. Hi, Liam. How you going?
Good, thanks, Karen.
Oh, look, we landscaped our front garden, put some beautiful frangipani trees in there, and we decided to go to Bunnings and get a few more plants to make it really nice and colourful. We came back, and they were gone.
They stole your trees, Karen.
Stole our trees not long after we put them in.
Yeah,
All we could see was these 3 holes in the front garden. We thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Our frangipanis were in there.
Yeah.
They were only gone for about half an hour.
You got any theories who took them?
No, I got no idea.
Look, hey, if you need any leads, I know Ben's neighbours are pretty dodgy. They're the real they're the type that lead a rebel whopper if it shows up on their doorstep if they haven't paid for it. Ben, what are your thoughts on heated blankets?
Love them. Nothing better than a cold winter's day or night and just getting into bed with a heated blanket.
Yeah, so that's not a standpoint I have. I'm of the belief that they're death traps. I think my mum told me that when I was growing up. That, you know, people light on fire and that sort of stuff while they're sleeping.
What do you mean? No one's lit up on fire from a heated blanket.
I think they have electrical fault, something like that.
What?
I don't like them. And my fiancée Sarah's been, you know, pushing them for quite a while now.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
4+ years.
Yeah.
And I said, forget about it. Death traps. Not going to lie on one.
You sound like a dad that just doesn't want to
Well, here's the thing.
give in.
So last night I've got into bed.
Yeah.
What am I lying on? Like a thick grid of cords.
What?
Like someone had left a rope under the bed.
What
I was
are
like,
you
what is this
talking
uncomfortable? Oh, geez, I think I put my back out and I flip around. What do I see? A plug coming from the bed into the wall. She's snuck on a heated blanket.
You think they're uncomfortable?
They're uncomfortable. They're unnecessary. And the whole bed obviously turned into a furnace because there's a quilt over us.
Yeah.
And like, instead of just having one leg out of the quilt, I was like I was in my jocks, like sweating on top of the quilt, being like, please just turn it off. And then she even agreed it got too hot. And now we're just sleeping on the cords and we haven't turned it off.
Maybe you're going to have to be one of those couples where you sleep in the spare room.
I'm happy to be a spare room guy. I know we're not even married yet, but I honestly, if she's, you know, hard on the old, for winter, I'll sleep in the spare room. That's fine. And snore as loud as I want them there. What did your partner buy behind your back? Because I feel a little cheated.
Yep.
To be honest. Especially the fact she just tried to sneak it on there like I wouldn't notice that I was sleeping in lava.
Yeah.
13 24 10 is the number. Laura joins us now. What did your partner buy behind your back?
Well, it was actually me that bought something behind his back. We were due to get married, and just a couple of months before our wedding, I went overseas with my dad to go visit our family. And so we were on a tight budget, saving for the wedding, and he's like, you can only spend this much while you're away. I promised him it wouldn't cost much. And I may or may not have kind of just like lived off rations for the trip, dipped into a little bit of our wedding money and bought a new designer handbag.
Oh, but was the handbag for the wedding? Could spin that.
No, but when you go over there, because they're made over there, it's a little bit cheaper, and then you get your tax back, so it would be rude not to.
It would have been silly not to buy it.
You mentioned like a little bit cheaper, and you can get the tax back and stuff. Do you mind us asking, Laura, like how much you dipped? Like, how much was this handbag, this grandiose item?
It was $1,800.
my first car was $1,400.
I remember buying in school, I remember my mum having to buy my backpacks, and she used to always angry. It's like $60 for a backpack.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
$1,800. You using it every day?
I do. I use it all the time, and it's not something that I do regularly. So I was like, I'm getting married. I'm going to treat myself.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he was stoked as well.
I bet he would love that.
He's like, awesome. This is going to be a fun marriage.
Thank you, Laura. Tiana joins us now. What did your partner buy behind your back, Tiana?
It's actually my ex-partner that bought himself a drift car on finance while he already had $30,000 owing.
Oh, my God.
Live hard and fast.
Drift around your enemies.
Yeah, I bet you on movie night he'd be going, let's watch Fast and Furious 5 again, wasn't he?
I think I've seen that movie more times than I've actually lived.
Yeah.
Living life 1,000 miles an hour. Vin Diesel.
Thank you very much, Tiana.
If you didn't know, we've got a studio audience now. No, but it's something we're experimenting with. We think it's working well. Ben, an Adelaide mother of one, had a frightful night after she was shopping late and the staff went home. She was locked in Paramount Browns. South Australia's leading processors of non-ferrous scrap metals on Cavan Road in Jeps Cross, famous for their many ads on television.
Yes.
So she was properly stuck there. They found her in gallons and litres, yards and in metres. They found her in bloody Paramount Browns. She's okay. She found an emergency number, I think. I think it's
right. So it must happen quite often then.
Yeah, it's pretty big. They got things in gallons and litres, as we've heard.
Yeah.
It's a big place.
Yeah.
I've heard arguments that Paramount Browns should be its own state.
Yeah.
And have be run by its own laws and have its own police and that sort of thing.
Yep.
But I think she found an emergency number. Because obviously this isn't the first time, laminated somewhere. She's called that.
Yeah.
And then, Paramount Brown himself was there to open it.
Isn't it funny, talking about Paramount Browns, even there, we've just heard the full 30-second ad. You've even kind of run through what's there, but I still couldn't tell you what you'd find at Paramount Browns. I couldn't tell you what they sell.
Admit, it does seem, because she was with her baby as well, it does seem funny that a mother with a baby's like, what are we going to do today?
Paramount Browns.
Let's see if we can find 8 kilos of copper in Paramount Browns.
But is that what they sell? Because you find it in gallons and litres. What? What are they? What? I don't know. What is it? Water? Petrol?
If it's fuel, we should be getting our petrol from Paramount Browns.
Is it containers that can hold liquid? Is that what they're selling? I don't know.
Yards and meters.
Of
meters
what?
of
rope? I don't know.
I think it's steel and scrap and that sort of stuff.
So you find litres of scrap?
Well, I suppose there is. It does insinuate there is some liquids that are to be found.
Right, yeah.
I suppose that's the magic of it. You don't really know what you're going to get until you get there.
You don't know what you're going there
and
for.
then when you get there, you might get locked in.
I wouldn't mind. We should go to Paramount Browns and record the experience. What do we see?
Spend a night at Paramount Browns. Ben and Liam's night at Paramount Browns. What do we do this morning? 13-24-10. Did you get locked in? You hear these stories sometimes. Imagine if you were at the toilet, in the toilet or whatever, at the shops, and the shop's just closed.
Yeah.
Would that happen? I mean, I don't know. I suppose there is some.
I reckon car parks and things would close at certain times.
Yeah, that's true. Did you get locked in? Ellen, did you get locked in as well?
Yes, I did.
Where at?
I was in the shopping centre.
Oh, which one?
Parabanks. In Salisbury.
So what was happening? Were you just in there late doing shopping and they locked the door? What happened?
Yeah, so girlfriend and I went shopping on a Thursday night and decided let's go get a pedicure.
Yeah.
So we went into Nail Place pedicure. End of the pedicure, they're like, all right, no worries, have a good night, see you later. We walk out and hang on a minute, everything's shut. How do we get out?
Right. So did you have to was there a security guard walking around or?
Yeah, eventually. We wandered around for about 5-10 minutes and then we ran into security. We're like, how do we get out?
Yeah, that's like a kid's dream, though, being locked in the shopping centre.
Yeah, maybe you just spend the night having a sleep on one of those massage chairs.
Yeah. That also kind of feels like, I don't know if you've ever had this before, but when you go to the cinema and it's the last session,
yeah.
and as you're leaving, they're starting to lock everything up.
And you're like, whoa. Yeah, when they're bringing the roller shutter down on the Maccas, it's pretty late.
Simone, good morning. Where'd you get locked in?
Good morning, Ben and Liam.
Good morning.
I got locked in at the Bunnings at Kent Town.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'd been having a bit of a a drink at the pub across the road the night before.
Yeah.
So I did the right thing and left my car in the car park. I came back the next day to get it, and it was surrounded by pallets of plants.
Oh, so your car was locked in.
I thought you'd spent the night
In
inside
Bunnings.
Bunnings warehouse, and you had to look for little bits of sausage that people may have dropped from their shopping the day before to get you through the night.
There are only a few things in this world that are guaranteed. Death, taxes, Nova turning up the feel-good, and women taking longer than men to get ready when you're going out. Now, I'm sure there's some ladies listening right now who are the exception to the rule. I get that, but I'm just saying, in my experience, this is the case. Belle, I've got you in the studio.
Hello.
Because I need you to be the voice that represents all of the ladies, okay?
Small job. Yeah, all right.
Why does it take so long to get ready? The thing that pushed me over the edge was on Saturday night, Sam and I went out for a nice dinner. But the footy was on, so this was before we went out for dinner. So I said, this is great, I'm going to watch the footy. Sam said, perfect, that gives me tons of time to get ready. So she literally had the entire football game.
That's what we're talking, almost 2 hours.
Over 2 hours. I still was ready before her when we left at 6 p.m. I was still ready before her.
Did you shower like after the footy?
Yes. I'm not here to brag, but I started getting ready at 6. We left at 6:08. I was ready at 6:08, so it took me 8 minutes.
Yeah, and what did you put on? What were you wearing?
I wore like these pants.
They're pretty hard to get on those pants.
Let me guess. You just grabbed a pants, grabbed a shirt. That's it. Done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah. Where I find I personally take the longest is not the makeup, because you do the same kind of thing every time. You go, cool, da-da-da-da-da. You got the same routine, same process.
Get the cat eyes on.
Yes. But it's the clothes and the outfit.
Yeah.
Now, you've got to take into consideration what kind of event we're going to. Is it a dinner? Am I going to see the same people that I saw a week ago?
No, but, okay, I can answer all this. It's a dinner. And no, it's just us. It's just a dinner. You know that. You know that when you're getting ready.
Okay, yep. So am I wearing something that it looks really nice, but it's really tight? So therefore, when I'm sitting down at dinner, I'm going to be really uncomfortable. So therefore, you've got to go, well, I've got to wear one of my looser dresses, but maybe I don't feel great today in a dress. So maybe I'm going to put some pants on, but these ones, they just don't work with the heels. Are we walking a long way from the car?
Is this what's in your head? Is this what's in your head?
Yes.
I counted 5 outfit changes for my fiancée once, and then this is my favourite. We got in the Uber and she's like, oh, I forgot something. She came back with a different outfit. I was like, how did you even do that? That was so quick.
That's the thing. And I change when I go out, like I might change maybe 5 or 6 times at least. Just looking in the mirror going, nah, I'm not feeling it. One day you can feel it, the next day you don't.
See, I think sometimes the problem can be when you have too much time that allows you to do the outfit change. I've got a good trick with Sam where what I can do is I say to her, I'm calling the Uber.
Yeah, that's good.
That way you put an actual time on it.
But they know
4 minutes.
That's the thing. They know you can cancel within 5 minutes. This is if you really want to level up. I don't know if I've told you this one before.
Yeah,
but we've got the house alarm. 30 seconds. You press that. Beep, beep, beep. It's like Mission Impossible. It's like the house is going to blow up. You got 25 seconds. It's going to go. You got to get out of here.
Liam, got a flight coming up this weekend, and I must admit, watching the news, I'm pretty stressed about how big the lines are looking at the airports.
Well, that's it. I think there's less security staff, obviously more people travelling again internationally and domestically.
And then these days with airports, the bag drop is its own debacle because you have to go check your bag in, and the line's long for that. And then you have to go through the security line as well.
And then if you travel with people like your dad, then you get held up.
Are you referring to the nunchucks?
I am, yes.
Well, yeah, so Dad, when we went to Bali one time, tried to bring back wooden nunchucks. But the problem was, because they were wooden, they wouldn't let them through customs unless Dad spent like $200 and they send them off and they get sprayed for like parasites or whatever, and then he got the nunchucks back.
I'd love that if there was, 5 security people around him saying, you're going to have to pay $200 to spray those nunchucks, and then he started doing the Bruce Lee and whipping them back and forth.
Hey, 13 24 10. What happened when you were going through security?
Do you remember that time I had a handgun in my luggage?
Yeah, I do. I love this story. So Liam, this is a true story. Liam once had a handgun in his bag at the airport.
I was coming back from an international flight, and you know how you always do the thing when you scan your bag and you look on the computer, you're like, ooh, it's my drink bottle, that's my iPad or whatever.
Headphones.
Yeah, it's like fun looking at your luggage in an X-ray land. Well, I was looking at that and I was like, there's a handgun, and there literally was. And I knew it was my bag because there was like the other stuff that was in my bag. And then the security guard just clicked on it, and the gun disappeared. And then I remember asking questions about it after, and turns out, so if you're on the security line there, like if your job is to like monitor the bags all day, what the system does is it throws in things to make sure you're paying attention. So like they might throw you 4 handguns a day. You know,
if you
two giant knives and a bomb.
Yeah.
And if you don't click on it, then it's like, obviously you haven't been doing your job right and reviewing the bags.
Quality control.
For sure. What they didn't know is I actually had a handgun taped to my back, and they missed that one.
All right, 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. What happened when you were going through security?
Kate, this was your cousin.
Hi, yes, it was. She was coming back from somewhere in Europe, and they actually cut open all of her bras and the lining of her bras and underwear searching for drugs.
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
Was it because there was like a sniffer dog saying there was something in there?
Nope. She was just a random search, and they suspected her underwear. So she came home with absolutely no underwear.
Was that like overseas, or did that happen in Australia? They were just getting the Stanley knife out on the bras.
It happened in a layover on the way back to Australia.
Okay, that sucks.
Surely they'd, I mean, I know they didn't, but surely they would have reimbursed you for that, for damaging all the underwear.
No, they really didn't.
Deb joins us now. What happened when you went through security?
Well, this is going back over 20 years now, and it was to Bali, and I packed ice cubes so that when we got there we had, you know,
Hang on,
water
hang on.
therapy.
Hang on. Back it up. You packed ice cubes.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense now. Then it did, because I'm thinking, I will get to the resort. We'll have nice fresh water, our water.
Right.
But I hadn't counted on walking through the terminal, and the humidity hit, and my ice cubes started melting.
Yeah.
And there's water trailing behind me, and then the security pulled me over, and they said, "Oh, what have you got in your bag?" And I said, "Ice." And they said, "Pardon?" And I said, "Oh, ice, for my," and then they looked at me, and I said, "For your water isn't that good, and you get a bad stomach, Aussies get bad tummies, so I packed it for my cocktails." Yeah, that's my story.
Oh, that's a wild story, Deb. That's absolutely wild.
I almost think you should have done 2 years in Cropper prison just for stupidity of trying to bring over frozen water on a 5-hour flight. I'm sorry, Deb. That's the most wild thing I've ever heard.
We're singing about suburbs all around Adelaide. We're singing about suburbs. We do it every Tuesday.
An hour ago, we span the big novelty wheel. It landed on Mobry, so we're going to be singing a song about it this morning. We've written one up. Some people called through earlier to tell us some stuff about the suburb.
We live right next to the Heights School, and we love it.
Yeah, the park and ride's pretty good, the one next to TG Plaza.
Well, you guys, you just can't go past Waterwells.
So we've got the Heights School, we've got park and rides, we've got Waterworld.
I had my swimming carnivals there. Ben, you were born at the Mobry Hospital.
I was.
I grew up around the northeast. So look, I've been writing a little bit of lyrics. We've been plucking away at a few chords. I still haven't really made my mind up on how we're going to sort of start it. But let me just think. What about a little something like this?
You know, Ben, I actually played there when I was
Liam. How long did you say boy for?
Oh, like a little while ago. Boy. Is it getting annoying? Boy.
Yes.
Boy. It's the diamond of the northeast, baby. It's got Waterworld. I played for the Mobry Jets. You were just the goalie. Okay, it's actually a very respectable position. Hospital to the east of it. A civic park in sight. Got Mudbury High and the Heights. Schools that know how to fight. It's Mudbury. There's a park and ride. Mudbury. Pelican Plaza's alright. Mudbury. There's a Hungry Jack's push. Mudbury. Down Northeast Road.
What's the Hungry Jack's bush?
Oh, it's a bush and they've carved Hungry Jack's into it. It's in Pelican Plaza? Yeah.
Right. You also didn't mention the main shopping centre.
Oh, you mean Mobry Triangle, the one with the sushi planet?
No, the big one.
Oh yeah. T3 Plus. T3 Plus. There's a Toys R Us. Do you mean that part?
Are you serious?
With the Cafe Brunelli and stuff?
Liam, the main shopping centre.
I think there's a Salvos in there.
I mean...
TTP is a pickled duck. TTP, the park is free. TTP, there's a tons of fun. TTP, what's the postcode?
5092.
Yes, and that could be your postcode for postcode payday. After 9, every hour while you work. Oh yes. Just for living in a suburb, your postcode could win you the first 3 digits. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. They sound like someone from TTP. Are you drunk?
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.